see what you got.
For other purposes, we removed or whited out any exhibit that was not admitted in
Okay.
evidence. And then the only other whiteout was as to the Facebook records, the words anti-law enforcement sentiment were removed from the description. And I believe there's agreement on the state agrees, those are as acceptable to copy and send back to the
Mr. Lenneman, any objections to this?
Objection.
All right, plus this one. All right, so we need to make a copy of this so that the original can go in the court file and the copy can go to the jury. We need one copy of that. That original goes in the court file as what was sent to the jury. And then the copy goes back to the jury. We have to have a record of what we sent them. And we have another note?
Yes.
All right, the jury wants a readback of the following: Captain Carter, Karen Livengood, and Markeith Loyd, all in reference to count 2. Madam Court Reporter, how long is it going to take you all to get that together? They want Captain Carter. I would say it would be his entire testimony because it says all in reference to count 2. So Captain Carter, Karen Livengood when she was testifying as to count 2, and Markeith Loyd when he testified as to count 2. So you would need directs and crosses on those things. And I'm going to need to pull the readback instruction. They're asking for. Does anybody remember when, help out the court reporter here, when Karen Livengood testified as to the scene of count 2, Captain Carter, the attempted murder of a law enforcement officer?
It would have been at the end of her first direct and at the end of her second direct. At the end of her first direct, my recollection is she testified about processing the scene in photographs.
Okay.
And then she briefly testified at the end of her second direct about collecting the spent casing.
Okay. So we'll have to look for that. I'm going to be reading to the jury 4.41. Members of the jury, you've asked the following testimony be read back to you. The court reporter will now read the testimony that you have requested, and I'll insert as each time. If you tell me what you're reading back, I'll just tell them this is the readback of Captain Carter and all that, okay? So how long do you think it'll be before you can do the readback? Absolutely, no problem.
Judge, can we approach for a second?
Sure. Well, this one's easy. They want tape and thumbtacks. There's the tape. Does anybody have thumbtacks? There may be some in my office. I'll check in a minute. All right. Let me go ahead and print this. All right. I'm going to bring the jury in. Let me talk to them about this read back and get more of a schedule with them. So let's get them lined up and bring them in, please. Yes, ma'am. Stay recognized, presence of the jury.
We do, Your Honor.
Defense? All right. I brought you into the courtroom just to talk to you a little bit about the readback testimony. So you all are asking to have read back. This is how I understand the note. You want us to read back Captain Carter's testimony in its entirety about count 2. Karen Livengood's testimony about count 2, and Markeith Loyd's testimony about count 2. Have I got that right? Okay. And by testimony, we mean direct and cross-examination. All right. I've talked to the court reporter. In order to get this assembled, it's going to take us until tomorrow morning to get it done. We're happy to read it back to you. Please don't take this as us not wanting to read this back. It's going to take until tomorrow morning because the testimony is spread out through the transcript and has to be looked at. We need to make sure we're reading all of it to you. You can continue to work on what you're working on now. I do want to tell you all that I know it's been a very long day for you, all right? You can continue deliberating. We want you to deliberate and be comfortable, but as soon as you all start to get tired, you need to let me know and I'll send you back to the hotel, all right? So are we good with this plan that we will read this back to you tomorrow morning? Yes, ma'am. If you all want to talk about it and send me a note about it, do that, okay? So let me know if that's fine or if you have any modifications or questions about this. That's what took me so long to answer you, is we had to figure out where it all was. All right, so why don't you head back to the jury room and let me know if you have anything. All right. Yes, sir.
Just because we discussed it briefly at the bench on the issue of a partial readback, I would just cite the court and defense counsel to Avila, A-V-I-L-A, versus State, 781 Southern 2nd, 413, Florida 4th DCA 2001. It indicates the trial court may provide a limited or partial readback of testimony specifically requested by the jury as long as the testimony is not misleading. That was a head note.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. All right, so if they're still requesting the readback, it's incumbent on the lawyers. You're going to need to pull up your real-time transcripts and make sure that there's not something else that you want to read that's specific to the request they made. I'm not, they want Carter, Livengood, and Mr. Loyd. That's it. You don't have to do it tonight. You have to do it before we do the readback.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
as to the issue of the misleading nature of testimony, in this particular case, there was another witness who testified to results from that investigation. That would be Richard Booth. As you recall, Judge, there were 3 projectiles and 1 casing found.
You can't add witnesses to the requested readback by the jury unless that witness materially alters something. So you're going to have to pull the testimony that you say is relevant and let us all see it.
Okay.
I can't address it without looking at it. I can't just start reading off witnesses to them. Okay.
Understood.
Thanks. Okay.